Good evening, everybody. I'm James McAvoy, and welcome to the Graham Norton Show.
Very welcome. Happy New Year to you all. Yes, our first show of the new year. We've arrived kicking and screaming into 2019 like Wayne Rooney at an airport. Weird story. Actually, I spent most of my Christmas break at Gatwick and Heathrow. I mean, I wasn't flying anywhere, just playing with my new drone. Amazing. But hey, everyone, it's 2019, and guess what? Only 77 days till Brexit. Oh, it's exciting, isn't it? 77, the countdown's on. Wonder what they're going to call it. Independence Day, Brexit Day, Armageddon? We just don't know. And I'm not saying the government's worried, but this week it got lorry drivers to take part in a no-deal Brexit rehearsal. Not very encouraging, is it? Here they are doing their bit for the Prime Minister. Aw, spelling out L for loser. Theresa, of course, still trying to sell her Brexit deal to anyone who'll listen. Yeah. Would you like a turd in your swimming pool? Apparently, she's wearing those blue plastic shoes because she's got a verruca. Yeah. Irritating and really hard to get rid of. Now she knows how we feel. Now, Theresa May's meaningful vote takes place next Tuesday, and oddly enough, she seems to be looking forward to it. Apparently, someone heard her say to Jacob Rees-Mogg, "See you next Tuesday." Hey, let's get some guests on! Later, we'll be meeting the stars of Stan and Ollie, Steve Coogan and John C.Reilly will be here. And we'll have music from our favourite Irish boy band, Westlife, are back! Yeah, Westlife. But first, this man has starred in films like The Age of Innocence, Dracula, Gosford Park, and the career-defying cult classic With Nail and I. Now he's earning rave reviews for his performance in the real-life drama Can You Ever Forgive Me? Please welcome Richard E. Grant! Right, there he is! Hello! Hi! Lovely to see you. Hi! Have a seat, too. This Golden Globe-winning actress has starred in American Horror Story, Ocean's 8, and The People vs. O.J. Simpson. Now she brings us the much-anticipated thriller Glass. Please welcome Sarah Paulson! Oh, hello! So shiny! Hi! Hollywood come to call. And starring alongside Sarah in Glass, he's the versatile star of Atonement, Filth, and the blockbusting X-Men franchise. It's always a pleasure to welcome James McAvoy! Nice to see you. Welcome. Hello. That was good fake showbiz helloing there.
Like,
very good.
We've just been hanging out back there, but we made it look like we just met.
Yeah, no, it was good. I was very
We ran out of things to talk about.
Yeah.
That's not hopeful. Oops. There was an awkward stillness. I'm here now with questions. You're fine. Now, you're all very welcome. But, Richard, we've got to start with you. You are so hot right now. You're on such a roll.
Thank you.
Yes. You've just been nominated for a BAFTA. That was announced this week. And you were nominated for a Golden Globe.
Yes.
That would have been exciting a week ago,
Yes.
but sadly, you slightly missed out on that. But was it a nice night, or was it kind of horrible?
It felt like win-win because I'm a 61-3/4-year-old nominee virgin in that I've never been nominated for anything in my whole life, and suddenly I've won like 19 awards in 2 months.
Wow!
So at the beginning of the Golden Globe, sitting next to Emily Blunt, John Krasinski, Melissa McCarthy, Dick Van Dyke, that was win-win-win as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, and you'd think kind of being nominated is the most nerve-wracking thing. But James McAvoy, you had to present at the Oscars.
Yeah, a couple of times now, yeah. I think the first time I presented at the Oscars, I was standing backstage for about 25 minutes, missing the show, watching it on screen, having a drink or something, and I turned round, and my crush at the time was Penelope Cruz, and she's standing right behind me, and I go, hiya. I go, You look really good in your dress. Don't know why my accent went all weird, but it did. I was like... And anyway, so I walked away, and then about... when is it? Like, a year later or something like that, she wins a BAFTA, and I'm presenting it. And she walks up, and she looks happy to see me. She's like, oh, I'm so happy to see you.
Because she's a puppet now.
She speaks like a budgie. You know what I mean? And she walks up to me and I'm like, oh, she's happy to see me. And I just kick her really hard in her open-toed.
No!
Yeah, by accident. Not on purpose. Yes, that was a bit of a nightmare.
Oh, poor you, well, it'll happen again. Yes, you'll see her again. And you, now, Sarah Paulson, a lot of people watch you at American Horror Story. And American Horror Story, yes. Ooh.
I like the sad 7 people whoop. That was good. It's like, woo! I appreciate it, though.
But is it the 8th season now?
The 8th season just aired, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's a very scary show and lots of frightening things in it. But what's weird is that you are, like, this doesn't seem like the natural milieu for you. You are terrified of so many things.
It's true.
Like, so tell the people some of the things you're scared of.
Tell the people. I don't like bees. I don't like honeycomb. I don't like sponges. I don't like...
But no, wait a minute. The honeycomb and the sponges, these are related.
I have something called trypophobia, which is if you were to... No, not tripe.
No, but it is. It's related to tripe.
Yeah, and I may be mispronouncing it. Some people say trypophobia, some people say trypophobia,
Yeah.
but it is basically the fear of holes. And when...
Wait a minute. Holes?
No, but you're okay with a single hole. No, you like... A single hole is fine, isn't it?
How does that work?
A single hole is okay, yes.
Yes.
I guess. Sort of. But
a hole next to a hole.
when they're, like, smashed next to another hole, and then there's, like, another hole on top of it, and then another hole there, and they're all, like, a hole.
A hole on a hole.
Yeah, those are far enough apart, and they're more oblong.
Okay.
Oh, so the set's okay?
The set is all right.
Oh, because I was worried for you.
No,
I was thinking...
It's when there's space, if they were all, like... I'm telling you, if you Google this thing, half of you will want to retch, and the other half of you will go, oh, but I promise you this is a new phobia for some of you to discover that you have.
Do you have any fears?
Do you have a phobia of any kind that
Yeah.
you'd like to share with everyone?
Hard-boiled eggs.
What?
Oh.
You mean you don't like the smell, you don't like the way they look?
Yeah, literally it's like a fart on a plate.
Well, that is...
Yeah, terrible.
That's so tasty.
If they're fried or whatever, but if they're in an egg crust sandwich or something, I've got to leave the room.
Really?
Yeah.
Jamie, you're not afraid of anything, are you?
No,
I can't think of anything that I'm necessarily afraid of.
Penelope
Taxman.
Cruz's boobs he's afraid of.
I'm afraid I'm going to kick...
Yeah, you're afraid of... Yeah.
Very good. Right, our first film tonight stars James McAvoy and Sarah Paulson, and handily, they're here. The film's called Glass. It opens next Friday. And now this is... It's a trilogy, isn't it? It's Unbreakable, then Split, which I think you were here I think you talked here about Split.
I think I talked here about Split.
And this one is Glass. So you are playing the same character.
I'm playing the same...
Well, many characters.
Many characters. I'm playing 9 of the same characters I played in the last one and an extra 11 in this one.
It's truly amazing.
But M. Night Shyamalan, who's made all these films, he's saying in interviews that your character has 24 personalities.
The character does have 24 personalities, and we actually filmed 23 of them, but we only... When he cut the film, he got rid of 3 of them. Maybe I was rubbish as those...
No way.
That was when I based one on you, and he just didn't even really like it.
For a moment, I believed you. I was like, really? Was I the Irish twins?
Oh, no, you know it's the Irish twins. Yeah. That was actually... One of the Irish twins is based on Saoirse Ronan when she was 12.
Oh.
Yeah, you know how Saoirse used to talk like that all the time? She was, like, really like that. It was, you know, yeah, based on Saoirse. Yeah. So there you go, Saoirse.
And, Sarah, who are you in the film?
I play Dr. Ellie Staple.
Oh, yes.
Don't look at me like that. You got really scary for me for a second. No. You look
good in your shoes. It's like we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Let's finish each other's sandwiches.
Yeah, sandwiches.
I've done that joke before on your show.
So, this psychiatrist...
I play a psychiatrist.
A very niche psychiatrist,
yes,
I feel.
a sort of subcategory. I specialize in those who believe They are superheroes.
Yes.
So it's not a widely researched field.
No.
No. So I didn't do a ton of, you know, research work because there would be nothing to read.
Well, listen, let's watch a clip.
Uh-oh.
This is Sarah visiting James's character, Kevin, in an asylum.
Madam, I am Mr. Pritchard. I'm a professor of cinema, specifically Japanese, 1950s to the 1980s. And I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing here. I'm very much in favor of Kevin's re-emergence, and yet I find myself in a goddamn prison cell, and I can assure you I am not an...
Young man, wait! You will not be able to get to the light. It is set off by distance as well as being monitored by a camera. I know this seems very unfair to you, but you are stuck in this room.
Got the beast fight? He's right there. You can't beat the beast. You don't think you can beat the beast, does he? Huh? Beast's like... You don't think he can beat the beast, does he?
We should mention, it's the two of you are in it, but also Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson are back.
Amazing.
And I sort of assumed they were like cameos, but like they're in it.
no.
They're
For real. Yeah. For real. Jolly Boy John. They're massive movie stars, and we've worked with movie stars. You work with movie stars that are your contemporaries, and it is like, oh, wow, there's so-and-so, they're a movie star. But when you're working with somebody who's a movie star when you were a wee boy or a wee girl, and you watch somebody, you're working with somebody who was in Moonlighting when you were 6, you know what I mean? It's like, it's unbelievable, and it is way different.
Because, Sarah, talking of your heroes, the last time you were on the show, you talked about Cher. And you loved Cher, and there was a moment when you smelt her hair.
I parted her hair with my nose. At a...
Did you buy her dinner from?
No, I did not buy her dinner first. We were at a party, and she didn't even know I was there, and I was behind her, and I just, like...
What?
I could smell her. Her hair smelled really fragrant.
And it was real? It wasn't a wig?
No, it was not a wig. It might have been a wig.
Yeah, it was a wig.
Yeah, it was a wig.
It was Cher. It was a wig.
I was able to
The wig is
move
silent.
it with my tip of my nose.
You never did?
I did.
Oh.
But now I hear, since that...
we've met.
You've now met.
Yeah.
So how was that?
I wept.
You might think Sarah's exaggerating.
I'm not.
But someone did take a picture of Sarah and some friends meeting Cher. And can you see?
You're weeping.
And like my vein, I don't know if you can see, but I have a bulging.
There's like it's like a glycerin tear.
Look at how happy. Everybody's happy or posing super cool, and I'm just like sobbing. That's a wig on Cher for sure.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
So she noticed that you were smelling her wig?
She did not notice that. We were at a party. I don't
Wig.
think she... Exactly.
Yeah.
If it was hair, you'd know.
I guess that's true.
But in terms of meeting divas we're fans of, Richard, you had that experience. Because when you were a little boy, you were a fan of a particular singer.
Yeah, when I was 14 years old, I got completely obsessed with Barbra Streisand because I'd seen her on What's Up Doc and Funny Girl and all these things. So I know it's a phase that you're supposed to pass through when you become an adult. But I had written to her when I was 14 and I said, "Dear Barbra Streisand, I hear that you're having problems with Ryan O'Neill. Please come to Swaziland. Nobody will know who you are. We've got a lovely house and a pool. Come and stay for 2 weeks and we'll get you sorted out." So when I finally met her, she said, and she's slightly boss-eyed, she said, "I never got it." And anyway,
boss-eyed mean?
Well, slightly. Yeah.
I had no idea she was boss-eyed.
I didn't know she was boss-eyed.
So everything has to be shot from the.
Oh, is that what that's about?
I didn't know
so,
that's
yeah.
what that was about.
I didn't know, because I always
I heard it was a thing, but I didn't know that.
So when I finally met her, I spoke to her for 22 minutes, and she did ask me if I was stoned, and I just came out with some cheesy line saying, "No, I'm just absolutely gobsmacked to meet you."
Were you stoned?
Of course I was.
Naturally, yeah.
What did you talk about for 22 minutes?
I don't know. She's very nosy, so she asked me a lot of questions as well. But she was brilliant at just sort of calming down my completely starstruck state. So, you know what it's like when you meet somebody somebody's been so part of your life, and then you meet them.
But I cry, and you just were able to have a conversation. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed.
When Josh Brolin married her, I did feel like I was being stabbed in the back. This is my chance that I'm now... I can't have Babs. So, anyway.
Babs missing out.
I'm still available.
There's still time, yeah.
There's
And
still time.
now, Jamie, on this movie, you are so scary. I mean, that's you as the Beast in the movie, in Glass. And weirdly, because of this movie and X-Men, you have no hair a lot. Like, you're bald.
I'm very smooth a lot of the time.
No
You know what I mean?
hair.
Aye.
Are you scared that eventually your hair will get tired of growing back?
If you want to look closely, you'll see that it might be.
Oh, no, is it getting a little fatigued?
Getting to the age of 40, pal. Oh. It's receding, can't lie. Yeah, it's just, I quite like it, though, to be honest with you. I quite like shaving my head.
Oh, OK.
Yeah.
So you do quite like shaving. Like, how old were you when you used your grandfather's razor?
Uh-oh.
Don't know, how old was I, Granda?
Oh, was he
Oh, is
here?
she here? Is someone here?
I can't remember what age I was.
Where's your granddad?
Don't look at me.
I think I might have been about 12 or 13. I don't know. No, I was younger than that. I was getting pubes.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I've gotten
yeah,
past the
this
point
is-
of
yeah.
1, I've gotten past the point of 2, gotten past the point of 3. I tried the plait.
Wait, we're shaving the...
So I basically got enough of them that I thought, I don't know if I want this for my future. So I thought I was bored one day and then I saw my granddad's razor and I thought I'll have a bang at that. And I started shaving them off. I did it badly and I stopped quickly and I cut myself a little bit.
Yeah, you were bleeding.
And so I got some tissue and I dabbed it and I was blood in it. I chucked it in the toilet, cleaned everything up and I went up the stairs and about 10 minutes later I just hear, James! James! And I'm like, come to the top of the stairs, I'm like, and they're like, can you come down here for a few minutes, son? And I was like, what's up? And they were like, you all right? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Why, what's up? And they were like, are you all right? And I was like, yeah, I'm all right. And they're like, James, are you okay? And I was like, I'm all right. And they were like, there's blood in the toilet, and there's blood in your granddad's razor. And I think they were worried that I'd been doing something to my wrist or something like that. They were like, show us your... Oh, no, I never do anything. They're like, show us your wrist. I was like, what are you doing? They're like, what were you doing? I was like, I was shaving my balls. And the look... They're mortified. The look on their faces was kind of like it is now. There was a stunned silence and a you what? And then after they collected themselves, my granny sort of took me aside and explained to me things about hygiene and how he's going to be using that in his face and stuff like that.
Oh.
Good point, Granny. Yeah. Now, obviously, there's lots of fans of James McAvoy's work all over the place, but one particular fan, I think you're aware of the lady, the balloon modeler.
Rhea Norman?
Yeah, that's her name. You know that because she's here. Rhea's here. Where's Rhea Norman?
Yeah.
Oh, there she is waving there. Hello, Rhea Norman.
Hi.
So now, so Rhea, now you make balloon models of other people, but you do a lot of James.
I do.
Yeah. So is that because he's easy to model out of balloons, or are you a fan? You're a fan?
I'm a huge fan.
Oh,
Okay.
thanks, Rhea.
Now, I think you became aware of Rhea's work when you saw this picture. This is 4 of your characters from the movie Split.
Right.
Created using balloons. Here they are.
No!
There's the beat.
That's a stick that he's holding, I think.
Rhea.
I don't actually remember him holding a stick in the film. Did he?
He was holding something.
What is that?
But then you all remember the film Atonement?
Yes.
So imagine, what would that beautiful scene look like if recreated using balloons? It would look like that. That's Keira Knightley's seen this. I think she'd enjoy it. Here you are as Professor X.
Look at that noggin.
Professor
Now,
X head.
Professor X, you would think that is perfect for balloon work.
You'd think? You'd think?
It's harder than you'd think. There it is. Do balloon people have to smile?
Yes.
Yes. It's very hard for balloon people to look serious, isn't it? There's an upturn. And finally, Mr. Tumnus.
Oh, here we go.
Mr. Tumnus, there you are.
How'd you get yours?
Adorable.
Oh.
Here is Mr. Tumnus in balloon.
Oh! You've outdone yourself here.
That's That's amazing.
But now, so we, you know, these are just pictures. But we thought, now, if you're looking there, Rhea, and you're thinking, she seems a bit red in the face, a little breathless, it's because she's been backstage, pumping away, and she...
Oh, Rhea.
You were,
Well,
Were ya?
pumping or blowing? Well, I imagine pumping. One of the... I mean, you know, it's 2019.
Yeah.
Who blows anymore?
Who?
So, ladies and gentlemen, please, let's meet Balloon James McAvoy.
For real?
Yeah, actor. Oh! Wow! Let me go. My head, down. Yeah, we go. Check that out. Wow. Isn't that amazing?
Thank you.
I didn't know he was that big.
Look at the buttons on the shirt. Woo. Say hello.
Hello. How are you? Say hello.
Hello.
It's lovely to be here. It's lovely to be here, Graham.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So tell me about shaving your balls.
Well, you know,
That would be really dangerous now.
and then I was trying to
And then you're like,
lick
hey,
them,
yeah.
and then I was trying to lick up the blood because I actually don't like the lick of it. Yeah, so it's good to see you, mate. Oh, thanks for having us on, pal.
Lovely to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, Balloon James McAvoy. He's got to go away now. That's amazing. Well done, you. Oh, just here. Just leave him there. Leave him there. Okay. Okay. We'll just leave him there.
James McAvoy's very drunk and passed out behind the couch.
Oh, James, shh.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, our second film tonight is Can You Ever Forgive Me? It's out on February the 1st, and it stars Richard E. Grant and Melissa McCarthy. Now, Melissa was here last year telling us about it, and it's the most extraordinary true story. If people haven't heard about it, do tell us about it.
She was a literary biographer who fell on hard times in the early 90s and couldn't afford to pay her rent. And she started forging dead famous writers' letters and selling them. And she fell in collusion with an HIV-positive kleptomaniac alcoholic drug addict.
Perfect.
And perfect casting, right? And they got caught in their scam, and they formed this sort of weird interdependent relationship.
And people have really responded to these characters, and yet, on the face of it, they should be so unlikable.
Yeah.
And yet they're... I guess it's because it's you and Melissa.
Yeah.
That must be the reason. Yeah, because if you say, on paper, you say, well, there's a gay alcoholic guy and a lesbian writer who hates everybody, and that they form this friendship and pull off all these frauds. That doesn't sound like people are going to be running to the multiplexes to see that, but they have.
Yeah.
So,
and your character is called Jack Hawk.
Jack Hawk, yeah. And I did improvise 2 words in the first day of shooting. I said, in a bar scene, I said, Jack Hawk, big cock. And they kept it.
Of course they did. And what's odd is, so Jack Hawk was a real person, and normally if you're playing a real person, there's, you know, particularly someone of such recent history. This was kind of the 90s.
Early 90s, yeah.
So you would think there'd be some source material, but there's very little to go on with
No,
this
there
guy.
were none of his family. I think he was disowned. He came from Portland in Oregon, although they asked me not to do an American accent. And all his friends had died of AIDS, so there were no photographs of him or anything about him. So it was just a tiny bit that was in the memoir that she wrote that I had to go on. A little cigarette holder and the fact that he was really good at fleecing people and scamming them and giving them the old stuff about who the real letters were from.
Yeah. Well, listen, we'll see a clip. This is yourself and Melissa as Lee and Jack, and you're sort of discussing your finances.
Okay.
You were looking at 1 month's rent.
Who's Marlene?
It's Marlena. God, I don't know why I bother showing you anything.
How did you get?
I got 414.
It's a little more than I just made.
What?
I just sold a little coke.
Right here, Joe.
Some food, mostly laxative. Just left.
You know what? Do me a favor and keep me away from your CD dealings.
Hello, ladies.
I resent that.
May I ask how sweet your cinnamon roll is?
It's perfect. If you don't like it, I'll eat it.
Yeah, I'll have a coffee.
No,
And can you warm it up?
of course I can.
Oh, mate. You know, like watching it.
I do the same thing.
Have you seen the film?
You're red in the face.
Yeah.
Have you seen it, the whole film?
Yeah.
He had his fingers in his ears the whole time.
Well, it's not comfortable to watch
I
yourself.
understand.
Yeah. I think it's the equivalent of, well, do you like watching yourself back?
Well, if I'm on, I feel I ought to watch it. If I'm not going to watch it, why the hell would anyone... You know what I mean? You have to show willing.
OK.
Yeah.
But if you're on, do you just happen to have the telly on whenever you're on?
No, no. But if I'm in on a Friday night, I would watch this.
Right.
Just because I feel... you know, why would I expect anyone else to watch it?
Sure.
Doesn't that make sense?
Yes.
It does.
Yeah. Do you watch American Horror Story when it's on?
I haven't watched anything I've done since OJ. I didn't watch it. I haven't watched anything in the last 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's the equivalent of
I've
asking...
done that too.
You know, it's like having sex is fantastic, but if you, unless you're a voyeur, filming it and then watching it back again, that's what it feels like. You go, oh
Well,
my
that
God.
can be kind of great. No, I'm just
Because what you feel like when you're
That's the bad
doing
analogy, Richard.
Let me
Let me show you what I mean. So see here is the moment where... Yeah.
Two holes
Yeah,
meet.
2 holes.
Right, my next guests tonight are taking on the iconic roles of Laurel and Hardy in the biopic Stan and Ollie. One's the Oscar-nominated star of Chicago, Boogie Nights and Step Brothers. The other is the BAFTA-winning actor and comedian behind Philomena, The Trip and the one and only Alan Partridge. Please welcome John C.Reilly and Steve Coogan. Hello. Really nice to meet you. Hello, hello. Hi. Nice to meet you. Hi. Hey! Sit. Very friendly. Do you all know each other? Is it in the showbiz way? All chums.
I think I've met all of... Yes, I've met everybody except you, Graham. Excuse me.
But it's very nice to see you.
I mean, we met once before on a night out with Kelly MacDonald, I think. Didn't we?
Yes, a pub. Let's not talk about that.
It was electric.
I met you once, too, at Bill,
Yes,
Bill and Felicity's house, I think.
Yeah, I think we were on Broadway together, Sarah, in case you forgot.
Well, but not in the same...
Not in the same play. Not in the same play. Fair enough.
That would have been really funny if it was the same play.
It was every night, 8 shows a week, and I have no memory of it at all. It was.
Well, congratulations, gentlemen. Congratulations on Stan and
you.
Ollie. What a terrific film. And
We were on a bus on the way over here. I saw us. It was very exciting.
You got the bus?
Yeah.
Wow!
I got a bus.
wow. Was it a private bus or...
No, it was a double-decker, you know, classic English bus. Yeah.
Wow. Well done, you. Yeah. They're thinking, we didn't come on the bus.
I didn't come on the bus. There was our picture on the side of the bus.
Oh, I see.
I was on a bus.
I saw that confusion
haven't
happen,
done a
but I thought I'd just let it play out.
Oh, I haven't ridden the bus in 30 years.
Please don't misunderstand. But no, it's BAFTA nominations. Steve's up for leading actor, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. That's good. And the movie's up for outstanding British film. So you might, I mean, this is going as well as it could. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. People like it. It was a bit of a risk, we think, both of us to do it. We're a bit anxious about doing it, playing these iconic people who are who are admired by so many people over the age of 40. But we hope the film will actually help some younger people appreciate Laurel and Hardy. But people are. You know, people are laughing at it and then they're crying at it, where they're supposed to cry at it.
Yes.
Which is the important.
Key.
Yes.
We should say Stan and Ollie is out tonight. And the story sort of focuses on this final sort of chapter of their career, which oddly took place in the UK.
Yes. At the end of their careers, after World War II, they were having a lot of trouble getting any kind of movie work in America, and a theatrical promoter approached them about doing a theatrical tour of England and Ireland and Scotland and Wales, and they needed some cash. Sadly, unlike some of their contemporaries, they had no box office participation and no residuals at all from TV. They were salaried employees while they're making their films, and so they were a little hard up towards the end of their life, and it was a beautiful thing, I have to say, that UK audiences gave Laurel and Hardy at the end of their lives, this reaffirmation of how beloved they were, and it meant a lot to them personally.
Yeah, and the biggest affirmation they got was their final show they ever did together, which was in Dublin, and the Irish gave them the warmest welcome of all, Graham. How about that?
Yeah, but it's true. There's a thing about apparently it's true. The thing about the bells that when they arrived.
Yes, they did. Yeah, the local church played the the Cuckoo.
Dance of the Cuckoos.
Dance of the Cuckoos, when they came off the boat. And it was the last show they ever did together, so...
Wow. Well, listen, we've got a clip. This is the two of you. This is sort of at the beginning of the film when you're at the height of your success and you're having a discussion about money. Here we go.
What are you looking for, Stan?
I'm looking for a fair price for a Laurel and Hardy picture, and you know it. Our pictures sell all around the world, and we haven't got a dime.
That's because you keep getting divorced.
No, it's because you're a cheapskate who got rich off our backs.
Oh, come on now, Stan.
He is. He's a cheapskate, a skinflint, and a parvenu.
A parvenu?
He thinks because my contract's up and yours isn't, that I won't be able to go anyplace else, and I'll have to take what he's offering.
Wait.
Mr. Roach?
What's a parvenu?
Well, it's someone who started out with nothing, got rich, but has no class. Look it up in the dictionary, Hal. There's a picture of you.
Oh, you think you're some sort of smart ass, huh? Well, guess what? I'm smarter.
Has she told you yet? We're setting up on our own.
Hal, it might be best if you could see your way to a small raise. You're setting up on your own, huh? Well, how about this? Babe's still under contract with me, and I ain't releasing him.
You can't have Hardy without Laurel.
Very good. And Hal Roach there, played by Danny Houston as well.
John was just saying when the trailer was on that they were 39 at that point. Is that right?
Yeah, they were in their late 30s. They got kind of a late start. Yeah.
So that was at the end of their career then?
No, that was that's their heyday.
That
was the heyday. Okay.
It's like a 20-year time jump, but in the end...
Cut that bit out.
You'll see, we look a lot older when you get into the film there.
When they're older, you get older. Yeah.
It's interesting, though. It's really an emotional biography of two friends. You know, if you love Laurel and Hardy, you'll see some of that, right? But what's interesting about the film and why you should see the film is because it's a part of their life that no one has ever seen.
Yeah.
It's what those conversations were like backstage in train compartments and hotel rooms when they learned to love each other as human beings as opposed to components of an act. And it's a really beautiful time of their life.
And in terms of the performances, Steve, you're known for kind of doing voices and impressions, but have you had to get a voice that right before?
You know, I'm not much of an impressionist, actually.
I have
a couple accents. I have a couple accents I can do, but it's not really... I trade in sincerity. You know, that's my brand, if you will.
If you can fake, that, you can do anything.
But luckily, my speaking voice is not so far off from Oliver Hardy's speaking voice. We have the same range vocally. We both sing in a similar style, so it wasn't such a long way to go. And of course, Steve, I had a lot of competition with Steve. He had like a out-of-the-box Stan Laurel impression. Immediately, I was like, all right, well, I better get to work here.
Yeah.
This guy can already do it.
Well, that can be...
Day one.
Well, but that can be a curse. That if you think that because you can do an impersonation, you've sort of nailed something, then you're on it's a fool's errand. You know, you've got to... it's kind of strange, sort of the reverse of method acting. You have all this physical stuff, and you've got the voice, and you look like them, and then you think, well, that's all external stuff. You've got to try and use it to reverse engineer your way back into who they are, you know, as people.
And I mean, I know the trip isn't real life, but, you know, where you're doing all those voices all the time. When you were filming this, did you have to be really strict with yourself and kind of go, I'm only doing Stan Laurel, I mustn't do anyone else?
Well, do you know, it's funny enough, when I started to do more serious acting, rather than just being stupid all the time, which has been very good for me, the best direction I got was from Stephen Frears when I did Philomena. All he ever did was, when I was being too big, he'd just look at me and go, Steve, bring it down. So, yeah, all I had to do was just not be big. And not hang around Rob Brydon, actually, that helped.
And is it the people in your canon, are you adding to it all the time, or who's in your canon?
I don't really, to be honest, I don't really... I mean, my impressions stop around the time of Neil Kinnock, which shows you how long it is since I actually practiced impersonation. So I can only do sort of... I mean, I can only do people from... I don't know people in the... I mean, does anyone remember Ronnie Corbett?
Oh, go on.
Of course they go on.
Well, I used to do Ronnie Corbett in Vietnam. You know, there I was, you know, in the jungle, you know. Went out from the bushes. You don't remember the Viet Cong.
I know who that is.
Brilliant. Do you still do Sly Stallone? What? Do you still do Sly Stallone?
Yeah, I used to do a routine about Sly Stallone and Alan Bennett in the same film, which was this was quite interesting. That I'm actually being able to reuse 30-year-old material on primetime television. Yeah, I used to do Sylvester Stallone sort of saying, you know, doing a lot of swearing like that, talking about I just had one of those days, you know. And his mother loving came out and busted his ass. What about you? I had one of those days. What about you, Alan?
Yes, I've had one of those days, too. My mother sent me to the corner shop for a packet of lemon puffs, and I came back with happy faces. So good.
Very fun, man. Very quickly, let's say Alan Partridge is back.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
BBC One next month, right?
BBC One next month. He's back with, there he is, in front of the BBC, with a new show called This Time. Yeah. And you're excited already, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, so is he back on telly?
He's back on BBC. Well, it's actually, we have to sort of create a narrative that makes sense, because now Alan's funny when he's losing. You know, all comic characters tend to work best when they're failing. And what we decided was that that we've created this fictitious show with a very lovely co-presenter played by Susanna Fielding, a very funny actor, and she has a male co-presenter, and he's unwell. So Alan's parachuted in, substituted for that week, and Alan sees an opportunity. Put it that way. We'll have to watch to find out what happened.
And people do love that character. I've loved him for years. So you must be aware of the people collecting the accidental partridges.
Yeah, I am. I don't sit online looking at that stuff, Graham, because that'd be weird, but people do tell me about it.
Like me, now.
Yeah.
So some of them are obvious. Politicians do a lot of accidental partridges. Like Theresa May, she's an accidental partridge. You see there you go. This one is... I mean, of course he's in it. Nigel Farage, clearly, accidental partridge, right down to the blazer.
Wow. I should actually pay Nigel... I should pay Nigel Farage's commission, really. He influenced me so much.
But in terms of accidental partridging, I did not expect to see this man, Barack Obama. Oh, he is.
Yes.
There he goes. Very quickly, someone recently posted this online. It's a sports presenter doing a classic accidental partridge, and you have to listen quite closely because it's just taped off the telly, so the sound isn't very good.
Confirming the ground is now good to say. Oh, you've been joined by a beautiful lady. It's a man, actually, Derek.
Very good. Right, it is time for music. This band have sold over 55 million records, had 14 UK #1s, and won 4 Brit Awards. And now they're back after almost a decade away. Ladies and gentlemen, it's only Westlife!
There were times I drive you nearly mental, but when you're mad, you're still beautiful. And I know that I'm punching way above. So lucky that we fell in love. Sometimes I wonder, am I enough? 'Cause you could have someone without a belly or a temper, perfect teeth, hair growing where it's meant. You know my lips are all I can hold against you. This is all that I'll ever need, you and I. Searching for someone like you for most my life. Happiness ain't a thing I'm used to. You couldn't fall in heart for anyone. Plenty of fish in the sea. Hey, now for all our time. Why not? It's just my angel and me. No one knows about all the good things you do. When people take advantage of you, your heart is pure and so beautiful. And I know that it's just the way you are. Father's eyes, but mother's daughter. And you tell me that you don't give enough. Now I found someone with all the boxes that I wanted. is all I want it to be. You and I. Hello, my love. I've been searching for someone like you for most my life. Happiness ain't a thing I'm used to. You couldn't fall in love for anyone. Play a fantasy. Hey, now for all of time. Why not? It's just my angel. Simply have someone without a belly of a temper, perfect teeth, hair growing where it's meant to. You know my lips are all I can hold against you. This is all that I'll ever need. You and I. You and I. I've been searching for someone like you for most my life. Happiness ain't a thing I'm used to. You couldn't fall in love for anyone. Play a fantasy. Hey, now for all of time. Why not? It's just my angel and me.
Westlife, everybody! Beautiful job, everyone over the voice. Well done, so fantastic. Oh, hello. Great to see you. Come in, sit down. Richard, Sarah, James, John, Steve. Hello, how are you? Westlife. There you go. Sit down. Oh, yeah, there you go. And I feel like we're just picking on Westlife and giving you stools. It's because there's too many people on the couch.
We do know how to sit on a stool, though. We're good at that, aren't we?
My one's a little bit low.
Yes, those are proper ones. Those are Westlife stools behind.
Yeah, the ones.
Listen, congratulations on that performance and that song.
Thank you.
That is the new single, Hello, My Love, which has gone straight to #1. Wowza!
Crazy.
Yeah. And I was talking to some of your fans before the show. And
Hello. We know them.
Okay. And there was so is it 8 years since you did a TV show? Like,
7.
It's 7 years. Our last TV show was. That was.
I asked you, and you went with 8.
8.
Was it 8?
No, 7.
Okay.
You're wrong.
Anyway, coming back, and when you were last together, your kids were all quite young, and now presumably they're teenagers and things. I think
My daughter's 13. Yeah, she went to her first disco last week.
Wow, were they playing a lot of Westlife?
I wasn't there. I just got out of the house. Absolutely, yeah.
We've 9 children between 4 of us. So
With these ladies.
But they're at that stage where they'll be going, Dad, you're not going to sing all those rubbish songs from the past, like, are you? And you're like, oh my God, you know. But they're kind of
paid for your clothes. And obviously, we're very happy to see you back. But I heard you tell a story where, in the early days, some of your fellow musicians weren't that keen on you.
Well, see, the thing is, you're talking about the Oasis story. So,
yeah.
So basically, we were a young band in 1998, and we just signed a big record deal over here. We'd flown into London, and the label said to us, you know, there's a brand new Tommy Hilfiger store opening in Bond Street or Sloane Street. Go along, you know, try and get popped and try and be, you know, noticed. And when we arrived, there was like superstars, like Liz Hurley and Oasis were there. And this was '98, and they were like, you know, What's the Story, Morning Glory, biggest album. And we thought, we have to go over and say hello.
Say hello, yeah.
So they were having a little drink, and there was like a circle of people.
What could go wrong?
Exactly. Well, we walked. I thought, we go. So me and one of the boys walked over, and you know, they had it back to us, and we tipped them on the shoulder and went, Liam, we're Louis Walsh, our manager. We're Louis's new band. And he just went, fuck off.
Fair enough.
Welcome to London.
So we just fucked off.
So you're touring. Your tour starts in Belfast on the... Is it the
22nd of May, yeah.
22nd of May.
Yeah.
And the tour's completely sold out in minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sold out pretty fast, so we've decided to add a few more dates. So that we just added Cardiff.
The expense, ladies. The expense. Stop adding dates!
How's the Oasis tour coming along?
They're coming after us, I'm sure.
They can fuck off. They don't even...
Well, good luck with the single. No, you don't need good luck with the single or the tour, but good luck with the album when it comes. When is the album going to come out? Is it this year?
Later this year.
End of the year, yeah.
End of the year.
Hopefully.
Just in time for Christmas, everybody. But thank you for that performance. Westlife, everybody. Hey. Right, that's nearly it. But before we go, just time for a visit to the big red chair. Who is there? Hello.
Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
Lucas.
Sorry?
Lucas.
Lucas?
Lucas.
Lucas.
Wow.
Lucas.
You're on
thin ice, my friend.
You are really, really not going to make this go down.
Where are you from, Lucas?
None of you.
I'm French.
He's French. He's French.
All right.
No. It's not the 29th yet.
Don't be all Brexitish.
So, do you live here, Lucas?
I do.
Okay, lovely. What do you do?
I'm a chef.
Ah, quel cliché. Okay, off you go with the story, Lucas.
I was a pastry chef in Ireland, and we organized the wedding. On the night of the wedding, we bring the cake to the party. There was a room in between where when we turned around, we saw the bride and the groom having sex, basically, on the table.
Oh, wow.
So I thought maybe we were a little bit early with the cake, but when we actually get into the room where the party was going, the groom was at the table waiting for his missus.
That is a good story, everyone. Good story. You can walk, Lucas. You can walk. Very good.
Too good to be true.
No, and it was good because it was such a terrible start. We couldn't understand him. He'd made a cake.
We had to leave.
It was in Ireland for no reason.
I think we were at that wedding. I
think M. Night Shyamalan could make the movie because it's such a twist.
It's such a twist. But she's not there. Should we have one more?
Yeah. There were no...
Okay, one more. Okay, here we go. Hello?
Hello.
That really is all we've got time for. If you'd like to have a go in the red chair yourself and tell your story, you can contact us via our website at this very address. Please say thank you to all of my guests. Westlife, everybody! Richard E. Grant! Sarah Paulson! James McAvoy! John C.Reilly! And Mr. Steve Coogan! Join me next week with musical act of 1975 and a great sofa of acting talent. Stephen Mangan, Laura Linney, Timothée Chalamet and Saoirse Ronan. I'll see you then. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye!
Get all the backstage gossip behind the scenes of our big new show, The Greatest Dancer, by checking out the podcast with Radio 1's Molly King. Just download the BBC Sounds app to listen.